Hey guys, Ian Flanagan here, and on this week's Freedom Friday Mastermind, we have the one and only, the legend, Gene Frederick. He's going to be dropping his 30 years plus of real estate knowledge. The first thing that he's going to really talk about is production, how to get into production, sell more real estate, especially right now in this challenging market. And then the second half of the interview is going to be 100% geared towards agent attraction, the things that you need to focus on to build your teams and really help other agents sell real estate at a high level. So I hope you enjoy this interview as much as we did. Hit that like button, drop a comment, share this with your team members, and enjoy the interview.
But I want to introduce our man, Gene Frederick. He's built a revenue share organization of over 16,000 agents and growing. So let's give it up for my man, Mr. Gene Frederick. Gene, are you in the house? Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay? Yes, I can hear you. Yes, sir. How are you doing, my friend? Are you in Puerto Rico?
I'm a little bit in Puerto Rico, as you can tell in my background, looking at the ocean.
I love it.
So I'm going to leave my sunglasses on because it's a little sunshiny. Sorry for all you guys in the Midwest or up the north, Minnesota or whatever. Sorry, guys, but
no worries at all. Hey, Gene, we've got 71 agents on right now. We've got EXP agents. We've got specials. Ian and I do this mastermind every single Friday to collaborate, bring everybody together, share success stories, share wins. And also we get to interview an amazing special guest that's crushing it with agent attraction or crushing it selling real estate or doing both. And I know you're the man, you're the GOAT, you're our fearless leader. And so I'm not sure how long you have, but we'll take every.
I have as much time as you've got right now. So just so I know what I'd like to do, Pat, if I could.
Yeah.
I'd like to go through some things that you guys should know in this shifting market. I don't know if you want to call it shifting or whatever first. And then you guys can ask me any question. This is my fourth downturn in real estate. I started in the 80s in Texas. And in the 80s in Texas, literally everybody left Texas in the 80s. You guys don't know that. We lost half the realtors from 1985 to 1989 in Texas. We went from 90,000 agents to 45. I survived. That was my first downturn. And then early 2000s, the dot-com crash. Then, of course, 2006, 2000 to 2012. So what I'd like to do, if I can, Pat, is give you guys, take notes if you can, what you should be doing in this downturn. I'm going to talk about production first, okay? And then I'll talk about attraction, right? Because to me, in this market is going to be the best market to attract agents. 23 and 24 are going to be unbelievably good. Because as you guys know, when the market dips a little bit, hey, does anybody on this call know how many units NAR dropped last year?
No.
Anybody? Okay. 2021 was a record year. Write it down, 6.1 million units. 2022, 5.1 million units. That's a million units less. Guys, our average sales price at NAR is 365,000. Wherever you're at, whatever your average sales price, if the units go down by a million, boom. Guess what? The realtors stayed the same. The realtors are at 1.6 million. They did not go down yet. So what do you think is going to happen in 23? Right? There's nothing you can do. It's going to go down. Realtors are obviously going to realize, wait, I got a million less units, and then they're predicting another almost 300,000 units less in 23 than 22. Okay? So you guys have got to adjust. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you everything I've got today, okay? So just bear with me.
Yep.
Write notes. Go crazy, because I got to go fast. I'm going to go quick, and then you guys can ask me questions afterwards if that's okay. Pat, is that all right with you, man?
Absolutely. Yep. Let's do it. You bet.
I'm too fired up today. Here we go.
All right.
First thing you should know right now is know your market. What do I mean? Real estate is micro, not macro, right? I gave you the NAR stats because I don't sell real estate anymore. I look at the NAR stats, I know them. I'm the only person that looks up that stuff. You guys should know if I come to you, Pat, next week and say, or somebody say, hey, what's the San Antonio market? You go, oh, Gene, it's unbelievable. We're down 22% from 21. But, this year's looking okay. Our average sales price went up or down. You guys need to be the expert in your market right now. You didn't have to do that before when the market's going great. Number two, guys, if you don't have a mortgage person, that's joined at your hip, you're crazy. Do you guys know what an arm is? Do you know what a 3-2-1 buy down is? Look at this. This is an arm. Just so you know, there were 5 years in the 80s I never sold a fixed rate. I sold everything but buy downs and arms. Now we're back in that mode. Let me put it to you this way right now. If you don't have a mortgage person that's helping you close properties and being creative, go find another mortgage person. I would have that mortgage person at my open houses. I'd have my mortgage person on my listing appointments. I would bring them to my listing appointments and tell them, this is how we're going to sell your home. It's got news for you. In this market, you're going to have to be creative. Number 3, I should be able to look in the background and see your vision boards. The goal setting should be immense. I want vision boards everywhere. I want you guys to be accountable to everybody on this call. You better pick 2 or 3 people. This is a mastermind. Well, heck, guys, vision boards work. Goal setting works. And if you haven't done it in your life, it's time to start. Number 4. Oh my God, I'm so fired up today. Let me see. Okay. Farm in the area. Guys, when the market shifts, the top agents love it. You know why? Because everybody else quits spending money. Everybody else quits farming an area. So they double down on it. If you guys have always wanted to go to a luxury neighborhood or move up from 200,000 average sales price to 400 or 400 to 800, this is the time to attack those farm areas and farm on steroids. I'm telling you, this is the time to take over your market, guys, because everybody pulls back, realtors pull back. In conjunction to farming an area, I want you to do open house on steroids. Work your tail off. If you have one listing in that area, there should be 25 open house signs with your name on it, right? With your name on it. It seems like you got listings all over. You got one listing with 25 directional signs. Do open houses on steroids. You're going to get listings and buyers with those. Number 6, this is something you haven't heard. In downturns, I just told you there's 1 million less units. Next year, there'll be a 1.3 million less units than were in 21. Realtors did not get the memo. So all the part-time agents, the firefighters, the teachers, the nurses that sell one home a year, they're going to get out of the business. I want you to contact all of them and say, hey, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm your guy. I'm your gal. Let me tell you, I'm here. I will take care of all your business. By the way, give me your database. Give me your database. Give me those. I'll work them for you. I will pay you a referral fee on everybody in your database. Guys, 1984, I got in the business. 1985, the market crashed in Texas. People were leaving my office so much. I was going, they're just leaving. I'm going, wait. I just left and got in this business. I'm not going anywhere. I got more business from other realtors because I raised my hand and said, I'm here, I'm staying. Because we're going to go from about 1.6 million realtors in about 3 years to probably 1.2, 1.3. Okay, got that? Go for it. Number 7, reconnect with your database. What do I mean by that? Guys, it's time to call every single one of them and say, let me reconnect with you. Oh yeah, I'm not going to move. You sold me a home 2 years ago with 3% interest rate. No. I'm reconnecting with you because I'm telling you, this is going to be an awesome time to either buy a rental, buy other things. I'm reconnecting with you because the market shifted and I want to give you a market update, which was number 1. What did I tell you on number 1? Know your market better than anybody. Know your market better than anybody, right, Pat? In other words, you guys have got to be the experts. What I would do with your, when times are down, do some marketing stuff with your sphere of influence. I interviewed the number 1 agent in Virginia when I was there in 06, 07. And I said, what's your best marketing deal? And she goes, well, I'm the turkey lady. I said, what do you mean? She goes, if anybody in my sphere gives me a lead, they don't have to close on a property. You just give me a lead. I give you a free turkey at Thanksgiving. I said, that's it? She goes, oh my God, you don't understand. I stand there at the HEB. I stand outside the HEB and I'm the turkey lady. All my people come, the TV cameras come, they film me and I give free turkeys to everybody that gives me a lead. Guys, you don't have to close on it. Go to your referral base and be creative about getting leads from them. It might not be them, but they know everybody, right? Okay, now that's production. Now let's go to attraction, which is recruiting. By the way, if you're Pat Hayes, how many people do you have in your group now, Pat?
Almost 5,200.
Okay, so 5,200.
Yep.
Okay, how do you feel about the downturn? Are you okay?
Oh, I
Does
feel great.
in?
Yeah, oh,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I'm telling you right now. In a shifting market, guys, you guys have heard me talk before. There's a thing called, and Covey calls it, Stephen Covey, a gate of change. No amount of persuasion or talk or showing them new opportunity, oh, it's going to be better over here, will cause somebody for their gate to be open. Their gate can be only open from the inside to change. Guess what? When times are tough, agents do not blame themselves. When those 1,000 units went away, who did they blame? They blamed their company.
Yep.
Well, I must be at the wrong company, Pat. Oh my God, why aren't you giving me more leads? In other words, it can't be their fault. But quite honestly, it's the market, right? The interest rates doubled in a year. But what they don't do is now their gate is open. I'm having more Zooms now than I ever had last year. I mean, this next year is going to be on fire with you guys. Now they'll go, well, yeah, it's okay. Now I really, you might have talked to me about EXP before, but I wasn't listening. Now I'm listening because I want to look. So how do you find real estate agents? I'm going to give you 7 ways. Now, as I give you these 7 of the first 6, I want you to think of this as you're going. One of them I want you to pick and dominate it, master it. Because guys, real estate agents are everywhere. But this is how the top ones have gotten real estate agents. Of course, number 1, you guys know this, real estate transactions. Offers, contracts, inquiries, anything. You meet another agent, they don't have to sell a home. You don't have to be under contract. You meet another agent, they're on your list. Number 2, affiliates, real estate mortgage people, title people, insurance people. Guys, I could go into any town in America. I could go into Omaha, Nebraska tomorrow and meet with the top 3 title people and say, hey, who's the really top sharp agents that I should be dealing with? By the way, they know them. They know the Century 21 agent in town, by the way, in your town, that's only been doing this for 6 months and has already sold 10 properties. They go, they're phenomenal. I go, well, cool. So, give me their name. I'll call them. So guys, I used to get affiliates. I could just get lists and lists of people. Number 3, real estate schools. I know in Texas, we could go to real estate schools and do a lunch once a week. That's how Rob Flick found Sheila Fageron. Sheila Fageron got who? Brent Gove. You've heard these stories. Okay, Rob, good job. Go to the real estate schools. If you can't in your state go and do presentations at lunch, become a teacher. If you don't want to become a teacher, buy a school. There you go. Just so you know, real estate agents 5 years from now are going to be a whole different bunch of agents. Do you guys know what the average age of real estate agents in the United States is right now? I do. I'm the only freak. 49 years old. Just so you know, 20 years ago, it was 59 years old. Our agent base is getting younger. That's awesome. Okay, number 4. This is one of my favorites, by the way. Warm texts or calls. We're having a call thing next week with 3 of my agents. We're going, you know what? We're just going to have a day and we're going to see who can set the most appointments and call, literally warm call. Don't call it cold call, warm call agents. Open houses is another way to do warm calls. I could go into your town on Saturday and Sunday and go to tons of open houses and look for agents that I think give me good energy. Guys, if they don't get up their stool and say hi to you, they don't go on your list. You know what I mean? Work with agents that give you energy. Number 5, social media. You guys know this one. Mike Sherrard, GoGo, all the ones in our company that are doing it through social media. If you're bent towards that, call those guys and say, how'd you do it? Take a class and do it through social media. Number 6, become part of a group. What do I mean by part of a group? NAR, WCR, Brian Buffini, Mike Ferry, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins. Guys, when you become part of a group, by the way, I know one buddy of mine, he's in wine clubs. I said, what do you mean? He goes, I love wine clubs. Me and my wife go to wine clubs. I meet more agents drinking wine. I said, cool. He goes, so do clubs, do things that interests you, and you'll meet other real estate agents. Okay, number 7, after you pick 1 through 6, sorry I'm going so fast, Pat, but you know what? I know realtors. Once I paused, 3 of you fell asleep. Okay, number 7. I want every single agent that you attract this year. I don't care if they're on your first level, second level, third level. I want you to offer this to be part of your team. When you're part of my team, I want you to write down the 25 agents you'd love to be in business with in our area. They don't have to be in your office, but who you think would be really, really good to work with, that you have somewhat of a relationship with, and I will help call all 25 with you. Now, if you guys do 1 through 6 in the next 3 months, and you just recruit 3 people a month, let's say you have 9 or 10 agents, but every single one of them you do number 7 with, you have 10 times 25, you have another 250 agents to contact. There should be never a shortage of real estate agents to talk to. Okay? Ever, ever, ever. Finding real estate agents is easy. The hardest thing is you guys procrastinate too much. What do I mean by that? You have analysis paralysis. You start thinking too much about what to say, how to say it, when to say it, what to do, when to call them. The analysis paralysis will take half of you guys out. Hey, when you guys, I'm going to ask you guys this. When you talk to an airline pilot and say, how long have you been in the business? What do they say? They don't say, I've been in the business 20 years. What do they say? I've got 3,000 flight hours. I've got 2,000 flight hours. You know how many flight hours I have talking to real estate agents? It's not how long I've been doing it. I've got more flight hours than you. Guys, I spent, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I'll tell you that in a second. But the bottom line is Pat Hayes set up 8 appointments on Christmas Eve, 2015. I was there 8. So we had 8 hours of flights. The more you do it, the better you get at flying. The more hours you spend talking to agents, the better you'll get. Don't try to be perfect. Don't do the analysis paralysis. That's what causes half of you guys not to take action. Okay, a couple more and then I'll open it up for questions. How am I doing, Pat?
Oh, you're doing amazing.
Okay, good. Man, I'll tell you what, guys.
This is fire.
This is the best time to ever be in the real estate business. You're going to add production. You will add production. All the top agents couldn't wait for a downturn. I talked to top agents. They go, Gene, I'm going to market that area because I know Susie. She's going to give up. Go dominate a farm area. By the way, I've taught some of the top agents in the nation for every company, and every single one of them farms areas. Period. End of story. They all dominate a farm. None of them that I've talked to did farm. Okay, here's 3 things I want you to do that, to me, Pat, you were talking about what made me successful. I started thinking, what were the attributes that made me successful in anything I did? I was top 20 in the state selling homes with RE/MAX in the 80s. Susan and I are in the Team Leader Hall of Fame for Keller Williams as recruiters. And then we came here. What has made Gene and Susan successful? Here's number 1. And by the way, I didn't get this one until I was about 46 years old. You need to be disciplined. What do I mean by that? I would like all of you, and this happened to me 21 years ago, when Mark Willis told me at a meeting to write down everything I do every half an hour for a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, Sunday, take off with the kids and the family, or whatever days you work. Guys, this changed my life to really write down what I was doing every single half an hour. What I realized is I was pretty disciplined, but I need to put in, if you guys want to list 25 homes next month, right? You really want to kill it on listings. How many listing appointments do you have to have? Right? You put in the listing appointments in your schedule. If I want to recruit 10 agents next month, what do I have to do? I better have 20 interviews with agents, right? Or more than that even, because my percentage is probably a third. So you've heard me say this before, but as far as, and literally I was 46 years old when this happened to me. I came back to Mark 3 months later. I said, here's here's my Monday through Friday schedule. 6 o'clock, I wake up, shower. 6:30, I leave. 7 o'clock, I meet my trainer. 7 to 8, I work out. 8 to 8:30, I take another shower. I go to Starbucks at 8:30. 8:30 to 9, I meet with my staff. 9 o'clock, I start my day at the office. And then 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I interview real estate agents. Pat, that was my life as a team leader for Keller Williams. Guess what? I set a record that's not been broken. We recruited 366 agents in 1 year in one office. I only tell you guys that because I became really disciplined. By the way, I had a lot of free time. Being disciplined doesn't mean being disciplined doesn't mean you work 12-hour days. What it does is you work 8 hours really hard, be with your family the rest of the time. Okay? Number 2, thank you. Be excited about EXP's vision for the future. I got news for you. If I asked every single of you guys right now, what's your elevator pitch? If you're standing in line at Home Depot today and the gal behind you is a Coldwell Banker agent, what's your elevator pitch? If she goes, hey, what's EXP like? What do you say to get them hooked really quick? Do you want to hear mine? Okay. Here's my elevator speech right now. So somebody might want to talk to me. I said, Pat, you know what's really weird? I met Jeff Bezos the other day. And they go, what? And I said, yeah, his name is Glenn Sanford. And 8 years ago, I met a guy named Glenn Sanford, and he revolutionized the real estate industry by inventing a new broker model where the agents run it. We don't have franchises, and the agents get rewarded with stock and rev share for running the company instead of selling franchises. I said, would you like to hear about how we've gone literally in 4 years from 15,000 agents to 87,000 in 4 years?
Love it. That's powerful.
Let's meet next Tuesday. Wouldn't have been, I don't know about you guys, and I tell people all the time, I said, everybody goes, well, how'd you figure this out? I said, when I met Glenn, I'd been in the business 31 years. I recognized he was Jeff Bezos. I recognized he has a new model. I recognized it would work if I could share it with enough people, right? And in other words, I knew it would work. I just had no idea we would be killing it. And going from 15,000 to 87,000 in 4 years has never been done. You could even just start with that. You want to hear how we've gone from 15 to 87 in 4 years with some of the top agents in the nation? Wow. Hey, do you want to hear? Here's another one you can use because I know my stats. That's why I tell you, you need to know your stats in your area because you could do this for your area. Do you know NAR went down by 16% last year in units sold? They go, no. Yeah, we lost 1 million units, 6.1 to 5.1. I said, you know what EXP did? We went up by 13%. By the way, I saw the KW numbers already. They went down by 16%.
Wow.
Does that make sense? So when you tell them you went up by 13%, whatever company they're with, you go, hey, check that out. See how if you guys went up or down. We're going up. Right? You want to see how we're doing that? Let's meet next week. Most of the time, it's about production first with people, guys. Second of all, here's what I'm going to tell you. Most people do not move for opportunity. Now, you guys, the 70 people on this call are probably going, well, I moved for opportunity. Pat Hayes goes, I moved for opportunity. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I know why Pat Hayes moved. You know why? Because his broker was in trouble. His broker was in trouble. Right, Pat? Shake your head.
That's
Your
right.
broker was in trouble. And you went, wow, I got to get out of here. Right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Most people leave because where they're at, they feel like they're going to fail where they're at. By the way, read all the Jordan Peterson stuff. I look at Jordan, all the psychological stuff. Just so you know, he said the other day in one of his podcasts, people don't leave for opportunity. They leave to not fail. They want to go somewhere where they don't fail. They don't see the opportunity as much as they don't want to fail. So you might want to call everybody at Compass. You know, my God, right? They started out at $21 a share. They're now at $2. You might want to call everybody at Fathom. You might want to call everybody at the other, because when you see the place you're at not working out, their gate will be open to change. All right. That's why I'm excited about 20, 23, 24, and 25. Okay, the third thing that's most important to you, besides being disciplined, besides having elevator speeches that captivates everybody. Number 3, and I think this is probably the most important, but whatever your religious belief, you better get in favor with whoever you're with. I'm a Christian. I really believe I've been favored by the Lord. You need to ask for help. You need to ask to succeed. If you don't ask, you don't. Guys, I've been asking for 8 years. Look how this has worked out.
Yep.
In correlation to asking to be successful and helping, whatever religion you are, get tight with that relationship. Because I got news for you. I know the Lord has blessed me and favored me. On top of that, when you start succeeding like Pat has and I have, it's really, really important because you guys are going to start succeeding once you do the things I just told you. I already know it. You're going to succeed this year. Be careful who you share your successes with. Write it down. Be careful who you share your successes with. When you share your successes with people that want to tear you down or don't believe you're worth it, or my gosh, don't even know why you should succeed, you need to be really, really careful. Guys, I only hang out with positive people. I'm sorry. If you want to come around with me and bitch and moan about certain things, you'll find out really quick. You won't be in my inner circle. Because I just don't. I don't hang with you. Why? And also, when people see me succeeding, the people that go, gosh, Gene, you deserve it. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm all about you. I go, cool. That's my buddy. That's my gal. Thank you. I appreciate that. They don't tear me down. They don't say, ooh, why are you living in Puerto Rico with all that sunshine? How'd you get Susan? Oh my God, that's another story. That's very lucky. That's a lucky thing.
Yeah, hey Gino, just to let you know, we have 142 on now.
Woo! 142. Come on, guys. Give me some questions. Give me anything you want. I'm ready to answer. I just had to get all that stuff out because, guys, I've been through 4 downturns. This makes me excited. I've been on more Zooms this week with top people. It's been phenomenal. How many people I'm talking to this week. It's been awesome.
That's awesome. All right, I know we've got a lot on. We've got 142 agents on. Let's not bombard Gino, but let's raise your hand if you've got a question, and we'll just kind of go one by one. That was fire, Gino.
I got a question. Events.
Go ahead, Eric.
Events. What kind of events?
Yes. I would do events. A good one to talk to, and again, if you're doing training events, I would call like Elizabeth Riley in Austin. She's been doing one once a month forever. There's a lot of people doing training events in Dallas or any of the markets. Rich in North Carolina, Tomasini, and those guys, they just set up great local training events. I really think that's the key in this market. I've taught 101 ways to lead generate 3 times in the last 6 months because I'm back to training what works in this market. And then invite them to all, if they're into, as you guys know, Brent and I put a lot of events on. We've got one in Maui and at the end of this month, and we've got Cabo at the end of March. And by the way, if you guys don't know, we have San Antonio this year with Build. Build 23 is in San Antonio. I would invite them. We've got, of course, May is shareholders event for EXP, and then our October EXP. Any of the major events, invite your recruits there because I got news for you. They do the heavy lifting. I'll sit down and have breakfast with any of your people, have lunch. You can have them sit with Dave Canord and Michael Valdez, and anybody in our staff will sit with them. The problem is you guys try to do all the work yourselves. I would hook them up with top people all the time.
That's right. Events are huge.
Do local events.
Yep. And just like, and Gino, just like what Brent Gove says, big decisions are made at big events, guys. Big events are huge.
Well, look at this. In 2015, our national convention, I was there in Vegas. You're going to laugh when you go this year. We had 135 people at that national convention. Guess who I invited? The Lewises, Scott and Tracy,
Yep.
and Robin Jen Flick.
Yep.
They both joined. The next year, guess who we invented in 2016? Brent Gove.
Brent Gove.
2017, guess who was invented? Michael Reese, Al Stasek, Jay Kinder. The events did all the hefty lifting for us. And it's even better now, of course.
Love it. All right, who's next? Who's got a question for Gino?
Come on, baby.
Go, Jason. Open up your mic.
Hey, Gene, thanks for your time. Pat, thanks for putting this together. Mark Andrade had an awesome question that I wanted to also ask you. What's your elevator speech for a team leader of 20 realtors?
Oh, well, first of all, my elevator speech for them is, do you know, I've got some of the best teams here at EXP, and the number one thing they tell me when they bring their 20 agents over is how it's benefited their team members. Could you see how you can affect your team members' lives by coming to EXP? I guarantee you that's the number one reason. And then they go, how? And I said, well, let me meet with you and I'll show you, because not only can your production go up for you and your team members, but through stock and rev share, you can affect your team members' lives. You'll actually keep your team members. You won't train them, coach them, and then they leave and start their own company because they won't leave EXP. And if they do want to start their own team, more the better, because they'll stay in your rev share team. Can I share that with you? Let's meet next Tuesday. And in fact, I'll have on the call, one of the Shelly Johnson, Craig LePage. I'll have them. They've gone from 40 million to 160 million in 3 years with them. I'll have on, and if that's okay for them to share you with their experience. What I notice about most team leads that have 20 agents, they care about their agents more than they care about themselves. They really do. It's probably 100%. And they care about keeping their team members. Because they train them, right? They train them, coach them, and then all of a sudden they start their own company. Oh, crap. Right?
Yep. Love it. All right.
And by the way, the elevator speech for all of them, I say it's not canned. As you guys know, you're going to get a feeling. You're really good at this. You're salespeople. You're going to get a feeling by how they talk. One of the scripts I use all the time when I meet somebody first, I say, what excites you about your company? What excites you about your company? What do they say? Well, most of the time they go, I'm not really excited about anything.
I love it. I love
really?
it. Yeah. And Gino, hey, this is the one that I learned from you, 7 years ago, whenever I first joined EXP. You taught me this. Hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, where are you at in your business? And then shut up. They'll throw up all over you guys.
They never say 10.
Never.
The person could be doing 150 million a year and they'll say 8.
Yep.
They'll say 7. And then you say, well, what would make it a 10?
Yep.
And then they come up with all the stuff. Well, people leave me. I train them, I get them, and then they leave me. I had one of those this week. This is Friday. And still this week, where am I?
Where are you? What day is it?
What day is it?
Living the dream, baby. I love it. All right. Who's got another question for Gino? Don't be shy.
Hey there, Gene. Robert Whitecount. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Robert.
It's been a long time. Good to see you. Hey, listen, what are some of the techniques you use to keep your team fired up the whole year? I mean, give me some ideas, that conversations you have with your agents to keep them fired up.
Oh, you know what? That's a great question, Robert. People don't leave companies, they leave people. They don't join companies, they join people. I'm just telling you, I've been doing this since 1989. You need to be in relationship with your people as much as you can. However you guys do it with us, Susan and I, we throw parties, we invite everybody. I try to do masterminds whenever I can when I'm in town with certain people. And bottom line is invite them to be with you all the time. Invite them to be on this call. Invite them to be with, become part of your team at all times. Training, training, training. It's always training. Give them responsibility. Ask them to help you do something. I do that all the time. I call some of my top people. I say, could you do me a favor? They go, what? You need me? Yeah. Hey, could you teach a class next month on this? You're an expert on open houses. Could you teach that? They go, sure. I go, cool. I mean, realistically, they don't leave companies, they leave people. I'm telling you, I know why Pat Hayes joined. When I say why he was looking, why the gate was open, not why he joined EXP, but why the gate was open, right?
Yep.
My gate was open for a reason. You guys don't even know it. No, I've never told anybody, but the gate was open for me for change, right? So if you can find out what's bugging them, that's why Pat says you ask good questions and shut up. What excites you about your company? And they say, well, nothing really excites me about my company. I said, that's kind of weird because I was just on this call the other day with 140 people and we're all fired up.
Yep.
That's right. Right? I never had these calls when I was at KW for 21 years. I was at Keller Williams for 21 years. Loved Keller Williams. Great, great company. But I was never on calls like this.
That's huge. That's huge, guys. Love it. All right, next question. Who's got another question for Gino? Don't be shy, guys. He's the GOAT.
This question was asked in the chat. Several agents are now also leaving EXP. What is a good counter for that in this market? Or do you say just let them go?
Well, here's what I'm going to tell you. Oh, thank you for asking that. The ones that are going to leave us are the same ones that are going to leave other companies really quick. The part-timers, right? That's number one. The ones that sell a half a unit a year, one or two, their husband's going to go or spouse is going to go, you didn't sell anything in the last 6 months. Why are you going to pay those dues? Okay. Now we're going to have a solution for those people. We're going to keep them, in our referral company if we can. We've got some good things coming off next week or something on that. But here's what I will tell you. And I've taught the guys, I've ran 2 of the largest offices for Keller Williams. I could not affect attrition. Attrition happens. I try not to save the ones that do 1 or 2 deals a year. Guess who I want to save? Every capper, everybody that does good business. I'm in relationship with them like crazy. All right. So what I would tell you is spend your time on your efforts on those folks. And the ones, because I see it in the chats all the time with EXP. Well, we got to do more about retention. I said, well, guess what, dude? I have never been able to figure out when 1 million units go away and then another 300,000 go away next year. We got 1.3 million units going away, 1.4 probably. There's less homes to sell. I don't worry about that. You know what I do worry about? Attraction. Guys, you guys are big football fans. I know you are. I watched the biggest comeback in NFL history, one of the games this year in NFL, 33 points at halftime. You do not win playing prevent defense. It's every time I see one of those games, you go, why did they quit playing offense, right? You win the brokerage game by recruiting more agents than you lose. Period, end of story. We got to go on offense more.
Right. Love it. Love it. All right, guys, who's next?
I'm trying to read that. When do you find these?
I don't have a question, but Gene, this is Nick over in South Louisiana. I just want to say thank you, man. Have an opportunity to thank you in person for everything you've done to provide us the opportunity, the platform to have blazed the trail. You got me fired up to just make this the best year ever. So appreciate all you do and continue to do, because I know you don't need to do it.
Thank you, Nick. I need to do it. I need to do it so you can I'm doing it for you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Gene, I have a question for you, if I might, real quick. you were in a position where you had 6 Keller Williams in 2 regions. You were sitting at the pinnacle of success. What was it? I mean, and you don't have to give details, but what was it that made you feel like you were ready for change? And I'm asking because we're all exposed to people that to us look like they're really on top of it, and they wouldn't be interested.
Well, that's a great question. When you're calling your agents, I would start at the top and call the top people. Okay. I was at Keller Williams 21 years, Susan and I were. Guess how many people called me, and I was the top recruiter 6 times in 21 years. My wife and I were the number 2 husband and wife team 5 times in sales. Guess how many people called us to talk to us about another company in 21 years? Zero. Nobody called. I've been at EXP for 7.5 years. I'm doing okay. How many people have called me? Zero. Start at the top. I was ready for a change. Most people didn't know it. I had been retired for 6 months and I was bored. Now, if it wasn't something that I really blew my eyes away, which it did, when I met Glenn, I went, it was not easy telling Susan, we got to sell 50 grand a month residual coming in. We were making about 600,000 a year residual. I mean, that was not an easy thing because we sold that, but we didn't sell it for much money. I had to replace the 50 grand a month, right? Or else Susan was not going to be happy with me. By the second year, I was making that. Within 24 months, I was making that. And within 3 years, I was making 165 grand a month. Now, saying that, guys, call me. Call that person that owns 6 offices and call them. You have no idea what's going on in their head.
Yep. That's good.
Right?
Love it. That's powerful.
Please call them first. Still nobody's called me.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just not worth it. Nobody wants me. Guys, people want to be wanted. They want to be, guys, I don't know this. I mean, yeah, let's face it. People want to be wanted.
That's true. I love it. That's powerful.
Hey, Gene, here's a question. Let me get this one and we'll pull Terry up. So,
Yep.
How do I speak with experienced agent as a new agent? Do I focus on production before attraction?
Well, you talk about both. Here's the thing. Doesn't matter where you are. Guys, I've had brand new agents that have never sold anything recruit a ton of people. You know why? They come to our training and they learn how to talk to people. We'll teach you. You ask questions and be quiet. Do you guys know how many people have asked me how much production I've done last year? Nobody since I've been here has asked me how much I produced last year. By the way, I haven't sold a home in 23 years. How am I doing? It
Really?
doesn't matter if in other words, I always laugh when I hear people, and you hear it in some of our chat rooms, you got to sell real estate in order to recruit. No, you don't. You just got to know how to talk to agents and ask the questions. On a scale of 1 to 10, you ask good questions and shut up, and they'll tell you. You don't have to do their business. Guys, get over that. That's an analysis paralysis thing.
Hey, Terry, go ahead and go. And then Brian, you're next.
Okay. Hi, Gene. How are you?
Good.
First of all, I want to thank you for that time you came to Austin to talk with that one broker owner. I really appreciated that. It didn't work out as I had hoped, but that's okay. At any rate, that last question was what I was going to ask you. So to follow up on that, what do you find to be the big hot button questions to ask those top broker owners that, less experienced agents are afraid to ask?
Well, here's what I'm saying. I'm so glad you brought that up. Guys, this is going to be big year. We had over 500 small brokers join us last year. There's 84,000 small brokers in the United States. 84,000. This is prime, because guess what? I already gave you the numbers. They're going to be down 25, 30% in units sold, right? not unless they're in a super hot market. So they're open for change. They're open to see how they just don't want to fail. I've had a couple calls in the last 2 weeks. These brokers are coming. Here's the question. How's it going? How's it feeling for you today? What do you feel like it's going to be like for you in 2023? I guarantee you none of them are going to go, I can't wait for 2023. They're going to tell you, I'm worried, my people aren't going to sell as many homes. So what's that mean to you? Well, I had a guy that we talked to 5 years ago with 250 agents. Guess what? 5 years later, guess how many agents he has? 250 agents. And he now realizes he's going to start losing money. He called us last Saturday, committed, and here's the key part. He says, I don't care if they come. I don't care if only 150 of my 250 come, I'm coming.
Yes, huge.
Small brokers, boy. Pat and I talked about this. I mean, even 3, 4, 5 years ago, I hated talking to brokers because the times were too good. There wasn't a fear of failure thing going on. Times were too good. Now it's not.
Brian, you're up, buddy.
All right, Brian, go ahead, bud.
Hey guys, hey, what's going on? Big Texas, Gene. I see you there, wild man.
What's up, bud?
Robert Weichelt. Hey guys, I wanted to talk real quick. All of this strategic stuff is outstanding. Gene, thank you once again for your commitment to helping everybody out. I wanted to talk real quick about the tactical side of all this strategic stuff, which is the opportunity to work with a success coach. So many of you have success coaches that are in your downline. And with success coaching, if you refer one of your agents or a crew or anyone to a success coach within your downline, like me, who is seventh to Pat Hayes, so you guys all get rev share as well from success coaching. And so success coaching, many of us are also DISC certified. So we can actually help you help your agents, your team with any of their goals based on their unique personality profiles, not just generic, hey, if you want to make $100,000 this year, you got to make 2,000 phone calls a month. But we get people into the mindset to make those calls. I'm also Cialdini's Principles of Influence certified, and I'm ready, willing, and able and standing by to coach and mentor anyone within our group. I'll put my email address in the chat, and anything that I can do to reciprocate the knowledge that I've received from this group, I'm more than happy to facilitate.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Love it. All right, next up, who's got a question for Gino? We got a few more minutes left here.
Yeah, I gotta end before the end of the hour. I don't have my clock on.
Here's one. So here's one. So if I'm calling someone like Gene Frederick to recruit him, what does that sound like? The conversation, the elevator pitch, like how do you start that conversation with the big dogs?
Okay, here's the best script. Write this down. Everybody get their pen. Hi, Gene. There you go. The hardest thing is to make the phone call. Nobody has made a phone call to me in frickin' 29 years. The analysis of paralysis is you guys keep worrying, what do I say to them? You could say anything after hi, Gene. Seriously, just hi, Gene. Man, I have always respected you in this market. Man, I'd love to meet you for coffee next week for 15 minutes if you could share some wisdom with me on how to make it during this downtime. I'm asking for advice. Let me tell you, if somebody called me tomorrow and said, Gene, man, I've always respected what you've done. I know you don't know me, but I would love to meet you for 15 minutes and just, man, share some wisdom with me how I can make it through this market. Would I not meet you? In other words, I'm obligated as a human being to help you, right? I like help scripts. I've used help scripts forever. Hey, Pat, could you help me? That's my opening line. Pat, could you help me? You know, I'm really struggling in this market. I was wondering, I've always respected what you've done at Century 21. Could I have 15 minutes of your time next week, maybe early in the morning, that you could give me the best way to really make it through this downturn? I just always respected you, and I need your help. I used help scripts forever. I hope that helps. I know I'm not a great script guy. What I am is an action guy.
Yes.
Right? I think worrying about what you say all the time will make you not do anything. Guys, I'll give you an example. I moved to Virginia from Texas in 2006, late 2006, to be the regional director. Never lived in Virginia in my life. My job was to sell franchises for Keller Williams. We only had 2 of the top 100 agents in Virginia. By the time I left in 3 years, we had 22 of the top 100 agents in Virginia. How did that happen? Because I called them and said, man, I really respect, I can't believe, wow. Could I meet a half an hour with you and you can tell me how you closed 269 million last year? By the way, I didn't know any of them. It just took action. And also, when I left in 3 years, I pulled it up and I went, my God, we got 22 of the top 100. I think I succeeded. And I sold 6 franchises each year. I was #1 in franchise sales 2 years in a row with KW in 07 and 08 because I'm an action guy. Pat Hayes calls me up and says, can you come down at 8 o'clock in the morning and have 8 straight meetings? I show up. And did they all show up? Yes, Pat. All 8, right?
All 8. Yep.
So I've got a lot more hours than you in the gig, but I don't think I have any better scripts. I really don't. I just show up and put a smile on my face and really care. I care about that person across from me. I really don't care if they join. That's another big key. I really don't care if they join. I just want to show them. I want to show them how much I care about them, if that makes sense. And they're going to get a feeling when they leave that I really care about it. Does that help, guys? If you do nothing but that in the first meeting, don't try to close them in the first meeting. It ain't going to happen. It isn't usually not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I think we got time for one more question here real quick. Gino, I see Mark, you had your hand raised. Mark, go ahead, take yourself off mute. Go ahead and ask your question to Gino.
You hear me? Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry for my English, it's not perfect. Thank you, Jane, for what you do. If you call the person and say, I need advice, I need your help during this next years, blah, 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 and you sit at a table with them the following weeks, and how do you start talking about EXP? Because you didn't ask for them.
I wait for them to ask.
Okay.
This is the big key to it. I wait for them to ask. And they might even say, well, how you like it at EXP? Right? Yeah. And I said, well, that's not why I'm here today. I really wanted your advice. If you want me to, I don't mind sharing with you all about EXP. Can we sit up another time or something? I literally, that first meeting, I want to get to know them. Okay. Right?
How powerful are you if you put yourself in a vulnerable position by saying, I need help, and then you want to show them something great? I mean, isn't it starting weak?
Well, no, I think you're just trying to get in a relationship with another human being. Okay. I think you're fast forwarding way too much.
Okay.
In other words, right? Yeah, you're going way too fast in the thing. By the way, guys, this week, just yesterday, I had a call from a guy. I've been working on him 6 years. That's all, just 6 years. This is the last thing to take away with attraction. It's a long-term game. It's not a short-term game. He's coming. I can't believe it. 6 years, right?
Yes.
He says, I wish I would have come 6 years ago. I go, no, you don't. You're ready now. You're ready now. Now you're going to kill it. You're going to have fun. So I'm in the long game, guys. Don't think you're going to close people right away. It just, most of the time, it doesn't happen. Most of the time, it doesn't happen, not unless they really are running away from somewhere.
Gene, share your 4 Ps and we'll get out of here.
Oh, the papas?
Yep.
Oh, the 4 Ps, like the papa? God, I don't even know those anymore.
Patience, persistent.
patience,
That's you're the one that
action.
coined it.
I know. But when I teach prop, it's so funny. I'm teaching all other stuff now. You know what's funny as a teacher is I go away from stuff, and Papa's a good thing. Thank you for bringing that up. But the bottom line is, guys, you got to work on yourself. I work more on myself now than I've ever done in my life. I just try to become wiser. I try to anticipate the things that I should do and do them when I do them. That's the definition of becoming wise.
Love it. Man, Gino, this was freaking powerful. This is recorded. This is amazing. We had, let's see, I think I wrote it down here on my notes here. The max, we had 142 agents on. That's some fire to kick off the year, Gino. Our first special
Good start.
of 2023. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
Love
Man,
all
I
you
love
guys.
it. I love you, Gino. Thanks for your, thanks for your time for one. Thanks for everything that you do. Thanks for your leadership, man. Your inspiration is amazing. I know you're out there having fun, but you are here for us. You really are. Guys, I literally called him up yesterday afternoon and said, hey, you want to be our special guest for my first mastermind in 2023? He goes, you know what? I'm going to be getting off the golf course, but I'll be there.
Thanks, guys. Be good.
Love it. Hey,
See
thank
you
you,
guys.
Gino. Love you guys. All right, guys, take care.
man.
Yeah, love you guys. Hey, we'll see you back here next Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys took some notes. I got a ton of notes here. Go back out there, implement everything, have fun, talk to agents, go sell some houses. Ian, love you, bud. See you next Friday. Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. God bless.